SHIN in the bottom left and Byun in the top right. SHIN, Byun, SHIN, Byun. And Byun is already, he's gonna do his Reaper stuff. We've seen this a lot of times, especially from him. It used to be his speciality, his go-to, #1 go-to build. But in the end, it fell out of fashion. Like, he was doing this all time long. But basically what he's gonna do is gonna make 2 barracks over here. And he's gonna pressure with some Reapers. And that's it. And you can just go with it and go full ham, make tons of Reapers and go full all in. But that's not usually how this works. It's basically designed to delay the 3rd base from the Zerg, or maybe even get a cancel on that one if it's planted down. And yeah, it is very powerful. It does give you the map control until there's speed out, and if you have a control like Byun has, even with speed, you need a lot of links to actually get that map control back. So you force a lot of units out of the Zerg player at a time where the Zerg doesn't really want to make those units. So it's still a very potent build. It forces the Zerg into an uncomfortable position from the get-go. And, well, it gives you some control, some potential for damage. It also basically denies any kind of all-in from your opponent, right? In a way that it just won't allow your opponent to go for a lot of, or anything else than just, you kind of have to get speed or be defensive in the first place. Of course, you're able to build up a force here and just go across the map as a Zerg, but you will be able to see that with the Reapers, so there's no secrets to be told here. First Reaper's going across the map. Let's see what he can get done. 2 links actually sneaking around here. So SHIN is trying to kind of get away with something. He's pulling away the 2 drones there. That was actually very beautifully done, I have to say. Really cool play. The 2 links are actually gonna go around, and this wall is not complete. Usually you see this depot inside the wall here, but Byun leaves open the spot for the add-on. And that might be a little bit greedy here. We see the links actually making a loop around. The add-on was not planted down since the gas was not there. No 25 in the bank. And he will actually delay this with slow links. That's insane. He gets a full scout. He scouts the factory follow-up, so he knows it's not a 4 barracks. He knows it's not a super fast 3rd command center behind this. He knows it's a fast attack. Byun does go into the main. He did not really kill anything though, so he needs to go out again with those Reapers. Not gonna find much here. And even though, like, SHIN did probably play this the best way you could have, it still feels like he's not ahead, right? And that's kind of the power of this build. It just gives you so much. Oh my god, a Ling sneaks in again. A Ling sneaks in again. Gets this full scout again. 3rd base on the way. Now let's see what the follow-up is gonna be. There is a few Hellions, but not too many. He's actually not reactoring them out. Command Center did just finish up the 3 barracks. Of course, the double engineering bay here pumping now for those bio upgrades. And on the other side, we do see 1 evolution chamber here. A roach build, actually. But also a lot of links on the way. For Zerg play here. It's gonna try to take back map control here. It's only a few Reapers and a few Hellions, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Byun is starting to clear some of the creep, and Overseer is gonna come in and scout the follow-up, seeing like, hey, how many Hellions are you actually committing to? Are you going into Banshees? You will find the starport now. You will put a changeling. Now the Hellions and the Reapers are gonna see 5 roaches. That's not too many, but this is actually an all-in here from SHIN that is coming. And the issue is, well, Byun doesn't really see this. He sees only 5 roaches, which is a defensive amount of roaches you would make anyways if you wanna play roach defense. Now he catches these units with the links potentially, and if he can deny that scout, okay, so the roach speed is a little bit of an it's a little bit of a tell. And you should know, like, oh, you're getting roach speed? Really? Actually, because he hasn't made a drone in the past 3 minutes, I guess not 3, but minute, and he's just going full aggression. Roach Ravager across the map. He has a Ling group still with this, but the Lings are not going to do much here for him. Doesn't really find the mark though. There isn't much he can do at this point. He tries to shove up this ramp. It's not gonna end well for him, man. He goes into a very, very tiny position there. That was basically the best trade that Byun could have hoped for. He will still lose his combat shields, he will lose these add-ons. He might even lose the wall. He has a bunker behind this though, he has a medivacs already, he has a tank. He should be fine. Actually, he loses 2 production facilities. That's way, way worse than I thought this would go here. He still keeps the reactor alive though, but he's not going to be able to use this. Can SHIN actually break this? There should be the second tank out very soon here. And with that, the hopes of SHIN to break this position open should actually dim out very, very soon here. He doesn't even have enough to break that bunker. And 2 tanks already in position here. And shell away at this group. That one tank is a little bit too far behind, it feels like. Doesn't really get any shots off. Obviously is coming in again. Has a group ready. Could go for the engineering base. He doesn't know where they are, so he drops it onto the factory, which is also fine here. It's a nice group there. Man, Byun needs to do something, because SHIN is going unchecked. He didn't do anything but make drones behind this. He's going into a 4th base, he's going into Hive, he's going into the double evolution chamber upgrades here, 1-1 at the same time. He's getting a couple infestors actually, which is really cool. Of course, it works very well with the fungals. And this is just great for SHIN. Byun is now finally taking his quote-unquote fast 3rd CC, the one that he set up like 4 or 5 minutes ago, but wasn't just able to utilize until now. Byun coming in, still no combat shields here. 2-2 might finish before the combat shields, and +2 attack again, way behind, +2 armor, unfortunately. So again, Byun with those misclicks. Should probably just rebind his hotkeys to just like the other way. Like, I see this so often from him. Now SHIN is just roaming the map. He didn't really make any units. If you take a look at the army size, there we go. See how it didn't really do much? For this whole period, he did not do any army units. And, well, that's a strength that he bought for himself there with that attack. Ultra's Cavern on the way, so SHIN is going into the ultra late game. He already has his Viper on the way as well. He's going into Adrenaline. He has his +1 finishing up very soon here. Man, I want to see Dark come back. And look at that. +2 attacks done, not done yet, but the +3 armor is already being worked on. So very, very healthy Marines here. Byun is trying to come in here with a tank attack, but nice fungal there is going to kill most of that bio. Even a few tanks there going down to them. Some biles at the tail end of this engagement. Needs to fall back though as the Lings bleed out. But Byun doesn't really want to push forward anyways, because he lost so much of his support units there right now. It was a very expensive engagement for him. And Byun needs to think about his position in this game. It feels like SHIN is starting to run away with this. He might even be able to cancel this base now. It's not gonna be able to do that here, unfortunately for him. I guess good parry by Byun there, but there's already Ultralisks on the way, Chitinous Plating on the way, now finally going into Baning Speed as well. Viper is charged up, and well, SHIN is maxed, so he kind of needs to bleed out some units. And he's starting to go for that actually at this point. I mean, he kind of just needs to throw away something at Byun, because he can't actually make what he really wants to have. He's actually going for that additional upgrade there for the Infestors, a Microbial Shroud, which is kind of like a Dark Soul. Can he kill any of those medics? Unfortunately not. Those Marines are grossly overstimmed, so even Lynx coming in with a surround would have an easy cleanup here. And quick pickup there by Byun in the end, as he sees the reinforcements come in there. Very swift on that trigger. But now we do have Ultralisks here on the field. They are still missing the upgrades. At least the speed. They have +2 armor, I want to say. So +3 was just clicked right now. They're not perfect yet, but +2 ultras with chitinous plating are basically what you see most of the times being used in fights. Now Byun is going into Widow Mines, and I can say what, Widow Mines are great against Banes, but they're not really what you need against Ultralisks. So in the end, I don't think this is gonna bode too well here. For Byun, he does have a couple of mines. Can he get the magic connections that he needs? Doesn't seem the way. He needs some Liberators, which he's desperately needing. But yeah, +3 armor did just finish up. Imagine if that would have been +3 weapons, which will finish after the last Marauder dies. No, it doesn't even finish in this game. GG's called. And SHIN does take that first map of this best of 3. Congratulations to SHIN. Alright, SHIN is up 1-0 here. In the top right of Celestial Enclave, very defensible map, SHIN, and in the bottom left it is Byun. Let's see what he's gonna do. Like, this map would even lend itself a little bit more to the style he played earlier. I guess it's a little bit difficult, more difficult to attack in, so I guess, I mean, that's why he doesn't go for it probably. But you have the opportunity to do the same thing, and you can wall this high ground with 2 barracks. Which of course he's not gonna do. Now SHIN going for the forward expand, of course, as everybody loves to do. No one likes the back door because it's a very slim, small expansion. And it just doesn't provide you the full income. That's why people just don't like it in general. Also, it has a worker only path open, so you need to be a little bit careful. You cannot leave that open. In this matchup it's not that big of a deal, but we have seen proxy barracks in there. We have seen pylons being warped in there. So there is a lot of shenanigans with that thing in general. Now Overlord, of course, coming across the map here is going to scout a little bit. We have a drone going to the top left. Do we see a hidden base? This is 2026. Well. Well played by SHIN there. Now Byun is just going into a triple command with triple barracks. Well, SHIN is already going up to 4 bases. And that's gonna be amazing for him. Byun doesn't really know about this. He hasn't seen that base. He must be thinking that, hey, there's the back door somewhere. Going with that probably. But no. In fact, he doesn't. Byun still has no idea about this. SHIN is just making drones, man. I don't know, man. I don't think Byun can come back from from a position like this. Not really the type of player that strikes me as someone who just can turn around a game like this if he doesn't have all the pieces of information to him available. He loses the Reaper now to a couple of roaches, and it looks kind of the same like it did last game, right? The 5 roaches defensively, and the roach push, roach ravager push, which is not gonna happen, of course, in this game. So we already see 61 drones here. It was a 45 drone push in the last game. Just a few stray roaches here and there to defend everything. The Overlord will actually be killed with a scan. That's quite... might have been an Overseer. But that's still very expensive. Armory on the way in. Byun super defensive. And... not sure why. I mean, of course, he went into super greedy build, but he went into a 3 racks afterwards, so he could have made, or like have an attack. He could have just walked across the map, and he didn't see the necessity for it. He didn't see an opening, since there was no... well, there was nothing really available, right? To go for. Like, what are you gonna cancel? Like, he should have attacked the 4th, of course, which he didn't know was there. Now he's going in, he's gonna snipe a spore, doesn't really do the trick. He was looking for that pocket base, which wasn't there, of course. So what are you gonna do now? Well, he's just trading against the roaches. He's also attacking in the front here, but that doesn't really do much for him. Until, at least if he can't find really the mark. He has a lot of units, but there's no medivacs with it, so this army is on a timer here. It's definitely gonna bleed out very fast. And that's just not where you want to be here as Byun. Now finally Medivacs coming in here, but maybe the Medivacs would have been better paired up with this bigger group here. Across the map. Byun is still growing out on the map. He's taking his 4th base, so he's gonna start to match Shin's growth here. And Shin, going into an Ultralisk Cavern, he takes his 5th base, but if he cannot secure that base, he's just gonna be in a bad spot. Byun, of course, has had this half base in the backyard, so that just didn't give him the income. But like a normal base, like the one that Shin took, so he was still in a lead, or Shin is still in a lead, and he will continue to be in a lead. And he can just take slightly worse trades. He's playing this roach composition for now to just kind of stay safe. That was a great double Widowmine shot there, actually. That was 4 roaches just going poof. Another really good Widowmine shot here. Those Widowmine switches coming in a little bit earlier than anticipated here from our Zerg player, starting to implement Overseers into his mix here to get the vision on those. But this base might just be cancelled. I don't think you can save this. Is there concussive shells yet? No, it's on the way here. Byun pulling back there for a moment, actually. And in the end, Shin is able to save the base. Byun still doesn't know about the top left here. That's insane. This is almost like... Look at that. Starting to mine out some of the patches here. So this base has been online for a long time. Small drop here in the back is not going to do much. He scans this base, sees this. I hope he doesn't click on the gas to see that how much was mined there. He's going to go there now. The base is starting to run low, so it's not the highest priority base. The one he was attacking is actually way more important for Shin here. Widowmine still don't have their drilling claw, so in the end only one does get a shot off here. Not really what you were looking for there as Byun, of course. Now Shin has so many Ultralisks, he can just go ahead and attack Byun. Byun has a very defensive position, but that base on the low ground might be a little bit exposed. There's only one depot which isn't raised even for some reason. We have a few units over here. He's gonna come back and try to snipe any of these. That's out of the vision actually here. Shin is trying to run up that ramp. Not sure if I like this idea. He still has so many Ultralisks here, but man, this one Ultra in that, oh god, mineral line, killing 18 SCVs now. The SCVs being pulled into the fight here. He does maybe manage to snipe a base here in the north. No, it didn't happen. Also, this medevac got cleaned out, so everything that Byun tried to do aggressively just didn't work out. And on top of that, he lost the full mineral line, 27 SCVs, even a little bit more, a mineral line and a half here. And also his CC was lifted during that time, so no mining going on. Meanwhile, Shin, I mean, the only thing going on for him is that he killed another drone here, which tried to make a hatchery. So, yeah. Now, though, the Widowmine is gonna get killed off. He still doesn't have drilling claws, by the way. He's playing such a Widowmine heavy style here. Probably needs some more AoE, honestly. No ghosts here. Baneling's trying to come in for a flank. Will now roll onto the army. He has to pick up. No infestors here. But just the time he needs to reposition the units might just be enough time for Shin to be able to push through. He buys his own Ultralisks there. He doesn't really care about it. He just goes forward. Just marches to the attack drums here. We have a Liberator trying to harass. He gets one drone. That's about it. Gonna get shot down here by this Queen most likely. Coming back here, he's gonna put the circle, but the Queen is just gonna walk there. And yeah, Shin doesn't have to do anything else right now, so he has the time to pull away the drones, to position the spore on top of that ledge, and now the Queens will just finish off this Liberator. The triple drop was not seen here by Shin, so that kind of sneaks out. But Byun is so hurt for money right now. His main is starting to mine out, the natural is running low. This third base is also starting running low. This is his only real mining location, and we also see a few patches are getting low here as well. He does finally manage to take out that hidden base and the top left, Come on, Bainley connection. Yeah. This is not looking good. Byun is burning. Byun's home is burning. Everything he has right now are these medivacs with units. And a few Widow Mines. SHIN does take the series 2-1. Sorry, 2-0.